explain whether we're ready to go on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, we are on the record.
Okay, thank you. I call cases 22-E-0064 and 22-G-0065, proceeding on motion of the Commission as to the rates, charges, rules, and regulations of Consolidated Edison Company of New York, Inc. for electric and gas service. My name is James Costello, and I am an administrative law judge with the Department of Public Service. Administrative Law Judge Ashley Moreno is also present, and together we are responsible for presiding over tonight's hearing. We are joined by Sangeetha Kalis and Esmond Brown Anderson of the Department's Office of Consumer Services, who will be providing technical assistance. We're here for a public statement hearing that was noticed on March 8th, 2023. And this hearing is to receive your comments on the joint proposal that was filed in these proceedings on February 16, 2023. Under New York state law, the Commission on Public Service may adopt or reject the joint proposal in whole or part, or it may modify it. The Public Service Commission will decide what Con Edison's terms and conditions of service will be. The Public Service Commission currently has 7 members, the chairperson, Rory M. Christian, and 6 commissioners, who are Diane Berman, James Alessi, Tracy Edwards, John Howard, David Valesky, and John B. Majori. We're fortunate to have Chair Rory Christian with us, as well as Commissioner John Majori with us this evening. Would you like to address the participants, Chair Christian?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you very much. I want to thank you all for joining this evening, everyone who's taken time out of their day to be a part of this public process. We want to hear what you have to say. We take these proceedings seriously, and we value the feedback of the community and the individuals that these actions will take. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your days to be here this evening and provide that feedback. And we look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chair Christian. Commissioner Majori, would you like to address the participants?
Sure, thank you. And I just echo what the chair said. I'm here to listen. I would like to thank everybody for taking time out of their schedules to participate. I know the chair and I and the other members of the commission value input that we learn from these public information sessions. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what people have to say tonight. That's the last you're going to hear from me, but I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you. What I'm going to do now is explain the process that we're going to follow this evening. As stated earlier, the purpose of the hearing is to provide you with an opportunity to tell the Commission your thoughts on Con Edison's rate proposal. The statements you make today will become part of the case record in these 2 proceedings. We have a court reporter who will prepare a transcript of the hearing, which will be included in the official record of these proceedings so that your comments can be considered by the members of the Commission. And when the transcript is ready, it will be available for view on the Department of Public Services website, which is www.dps.ny.gov. This is not an evidentiary type hearing, nor is it a question and answer session. It is a forum for you to provide your comments and concerns for the Commission's consideration. This is not the only opportunity for public comment. If you did not pre-register to speak at today's hearing, but you would like your views included in the record, there are other ways that you may comment. Those are listed in the public notice that was issued. There also, if you're participating electronically, we'll get a screen up to show you the other ways as well. And you can submit comments by mail, by phone, by email, and on the DPS website. And regardless of how you submit your comments, they will be given equal consideration by the Commission. And again, even though we've asked for the comments to be submitted by a certain date in April, those comments may be submitted and will be considered throughout the pendency of these proceedings. If you have registered to make a statement, we ask that you please summarize any lengthy written statements that you may have, summarize them orally, and submit the full written statement by mail or email. And we have, looks like what our records show is that people registered for electronically. I see a number of people that are also participating or at least present by telephone. So if you are registered to speak, either way, if you're going to speak by telephone or electronically, you should only have an audio input from one device that you're using. Otherwise, you're going to experience feedback problems. I will call the persons who have pre-registered one by one to speak. If someone is not available when I call them, I will continue with the next person, and I will come back to those people who are not available. I'll come back to them at the end. For people that want to participate by telephone, when I call your name, you'll have to hit *3, and that will be a raise hand function and indicate to us that you are who you are, and we can then unmute your line so that you can make your statement. If you are participating electronically, you would use your raise hand function when we ask for that, but we can see your names and we will unmute your line when I call your name, and once you hear that, you can make your comment. What we'd like you to do is speak slowly and clearly so that the court reporter can accurately capture your statement for the record. Also, when your line is unmuted, you should state your name, and if it has an unusual spelling, or you should do that as well, spell your name. And if you're speaking on behalf of an organization, you should state the name of the organization that you're representing. Once we confirm that we can hear you, you can proceed to make your comments. So with that, I'm going to go to the first speaker that we have registered, which is New York State Senator Shelley Mayer. And I don't know if you're participating by telephone. If you are, you would have to hit *3 so that we can identify you and unmute your line. And I'm not seeing anybody doing that. So what I'm going to do is go to the next registered speaker, who is Erica Pierce, Westchester County Legislator. Again, if you are calling in, please hit *3. No, it looks like we have call-in user 6. Could we unmute that person's line, please?
Line has been unmuted, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, may I ask who's speaking?
Yes, this is Lois Simmons. I live in Ossining, and I was just wondering what is the real reason for this hike that's supposed to be?
I just went through this, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, I got late.
We have registered speakers who I'm going to go through and ask about.
Oh, okay.
This is also not a question and answer session. This is just an opportunity if you want to make comments about the joint proposal that was filed in these cases.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. If you want to make a comment, you know, we'll come back.
I'm really concerned because we are already, I live in a co-op development, we are already paying a,
But let me come back to you. Let me come back to you later on, okay? Because I want to get your name for the record and everything. But let me go through the people that we have already that have registered to speak first, and then we'll come back.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, I have not seen Erica Pierce, so we'll go to Phyllis Nastasio. Again, if you are participating by telephone, please hit *3. No. Go to the next registered speaker, who is Sam Lay, L-E. I'm not seeing any hands raised or any indication that there's a speaker, so I'll go to Elizabeth Peterson. Elizabeth Peterson, if you are participating by telephone, please hit *3. I'll go to Carolyn Yao, Y-A-O.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are you? Just please spell your name for the record, and then you can give your statement.
Okay. My name is Carolyn Yao, and I am a resident in Queens. I'm born and raised, and I currently work at the Department of Education. But I'm making a statement tonight because I think it's really ridiculous that Con Edison wants to raise the rate of utilities, given that Con Ed is one of the nation's largest investor-owned energy delivery companies. The CEO and all the executives make millions a year. What they're doing now is they're charging the energy users, the regular working class people in the city. They're charging them, passing on the cost of what they should be investing in for infrastructure in the first place. And I did a little bit of research, and this infrastructure is not even built to last. It's purely for the short-term profit of just a few. Con Edison, so I say no to the Con Edison rate hike. I think the city needs to do something about the fact that Con Edison is a monopoly that can just arbitrarily raise prices as they want. Even this public hearing is very, very hard to access, and I have to wonder if that's a coincidence. So that is my statement. Do I have more time?
If you have more to say, you're welcome to say it.
Okay, I have more to say. I think that Con Edison is also using the inflation crisis to their advantage. I believe that they're price gouging, and I believe that, you know, in the past year, I don't even believe this is objective truth, that they have made record-breaking profits in the last year. All these energy companies that claim that they're, you know, having to cut corners to serve the people, but what they're doing is rewarding the people at the very top and making people in the city that need utilities is a right that we have, right? Utilities is the difference between unlivable and livable housing. So why should we be rewarding these Con Ed executives, these rich monopoly energy owners, when there's people to be served in the city? Nearly 1.3 million New Yorker households are at least 2 months behind on gas and electricity bills included. Myself, I've had to already pay an increase because of the extra cost of the supply. And I know that I talk to my neighbors, I talk to my community, and everybody is noticing it. And it doesn't have to be this way. You know, New York can actually subsidize. Firstly, Con Edison shouldn't be getting rewarded by passing more costs to the consumer with this rate hike. Secondly, New York can offset the cost of this, the rising price of energy, by taxing Wall Street. That's the people that have the money in the city. Every single thing that people need in the city, we can get from taxing the rich. These people are being bailed out. These rich executives are being bailed out, not only through the bank bailouts, not only through tax breaks, not only through the fact that we don't have windfall tax on them, but also on the fact that they get to pass the cost of infrastructure to the consumer. They can always do that. So I don't think that Con Edison has the right to raise the prices. I think that the city needs to take in Con Edison. I think it needs to be regulated by the people, because this is ridiculous. You know, not only are we facing a utilities hike, we're facing unprecedented rent prices in the city right now. We are facing another fare hike for the MTA. The cost of food and baby supplies is going off the roof. So this is just one of the components of a living cost crisis in New York. So I don't know how this case can even honestly be heard right now for Con Edison's case. I don't think that they have a case for raising the prices. Again, back to my point, they should be taking the money from their executives. They should be undercutting the people at the top that make the most money. The city, whatever is left over that the city still needs to provide for energy, that can be taken from Wall Street, because there's nothing more to give from a New Yorker. We're in debt. We're barely making ends meet. this is just this is just another thing that's making it impossible to live in the city anymore. So, Public Service Commission, you all I know are unelected. But at the very least, I hope you have the conscience to answer to the fact that we have a living cost crisis right now. We need to stop Con Edison's electricity and gas price hikes. We need to reinstate the utilities shut-off moratorium. That means that nobody should be paying utilities that is in debt. Nobody's utilities should be getting cut off. Anything that we need to supply the people, we need to get from taxing Wall Street. Even taxing some stock transactions, even as little as 0.02%, we can raise billions of dollars in revenue for the city every year. That's where the money can come from to provide energy for the people. We don't need to play games with Con Edison. They're making money. Record-breaking profits every single year. They should not have the right to say that they need to raise the prices again. And lastly, Con Edison should be publicly owned. It should be regulated by the people, not millionaire investors. We're facing so many crises at the moment. This is the last thing that we need, a rate hike. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Libby Day? Can you please unmute the line for Libby Day?
Libby, your line has been unmuted.
Why it's doing that?
Hello? Ms. Day? No, it's not, it doesn't look unmuted on my end here.
Somebody keeps muting it.
Okay. Ms. Day, do you not wish to speak?
I wish to speak. It is unmuted, but it keeps going back to mute.
Well, back to mute. Okay. Yeah, I see it on this end as well.
Understand it. It's crazy.
All right. It looks like it's staying now. No, it's not.
No, it doesn't want to stay.
Just bear with us 1 second. Just want to ask the Office of Consumer Services if they can try to see what this problem is and figure out why.
No, it does not stay. Not me.
Do you want to, can you call in again and once you call in, we'll call you just to see if there's something with the connection?
Okay, I will.
I apologize for this. This hasn't happened to us before, at least to me.
Okay. 1-800-335-2120. Stupid.
If you would like to leave a comment, please leave your name and contact information.
This doesn't work.
Ms. Day?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. We can hear you. Just don't press anything and see if you can make your comment. We can hear you now. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I don't know what's going on either because it says mute.
Yeah, don't hit anything.
I'm not touching it. Not going
Okay,
in.
I'm saying just try it and let's see how you do.
Okay, very good. We are solar energy customers. We have been solar energy since 2014. The problem I'm having is Con Edison is looking for an increase in their rates. However, I don't know what anybody knows about solar, but the way that they calculate what we generate as far as energy, they never let you know what you're calculating. They told me once I should sit on a chair outside and watch the meter run backwards. That's how they calculate what I get as far as credit each month. There's never anything on my bill. I know what I'm creating in energy because I get that from the apps, which is the solar energy companies. But Con Edison does nothing to make their numbers jive with the numbers that I know I'm creating. I don't understand it. And now they want more money. They're making enough money on solar people. It doesn't make any sense. And when you inquire from Con Edison about putting battery backups in your house so that you can run that energy that you've created on your own when you choose to run it, you can't. They will not allow it. They want you. I just don't understand where they are as a company. I really don't. They're not responsible. And that's my comment. I mean, we're a solar energy people when it comes to crediting the energy you're creating.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to go, I'm going to try New York State Senator Shelley Mayer again. And if you're participating by telephone, again, please hit *3. Okay, Erica Pierce. Phyllis Nastasio. Sam Lee. I see that you're on the participating electronically, and it looks like your phone has been unmuted.
Hello?
Hello. Would you like to make a statement this evening?
Yes, I would. Hello, my name is Sam. I live in Woodside, Queens. I live in a working class neighborhood with nurses, Uber drivers, domestic workers, restaurant workers. And I've slowly noticed over the years that people are just getting priced out and they couldn't afford to live here anymore. They've been priced out and they've been forced to move to other states and other cities like New Jersey or Florida or Pennsylvania. And what's happening is there's just so many vacant apartments because people can no longer afford to live in New York City or New York State. And what's happening is there's so much vacancy, and I'm like, and then everyone else has to pitch in and bear the brunt of having to pay for the city budget or the state budget or to pay utilities. And what I don't understand is how you can hike up prices and rates when people are already struggling to afford to live in New York City. And if people keep doing this, you're just going to end up with you're just going to end up with a bunch of Airbnbs and no one would want to live here anymore. It doesn't make sense to me. And we can blame a lot of things. We can blame Russia-Ukraine war. We can blame inflation. But I don't understand how we can criticize Russia for being run by oligarchies when we have unelected private entities making critical decisions about New York State infrastructure. We have to listen to people, and we have to make sure this is a democracy, and we have to make sure we're making decisions that is reflective of the living conditions that people and voters are living through. And it's not fair.
Okay, is that your statement?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. The next speaker, Elizabeth Peterson. If you are participating by telephone, please hit *3. I do not see anybody indicating they want to speak. So there was a telephone speaker who originally wanted to make a statement. I asked her to, told her that we would get back to her after we had the registered speakers. So if you're still on the line and would like to make a statement, hit *3 so that we can identify you, and we'll unmute your line and allow you to make your statement. Okay, call-in user 6. Just bear with us while we... Let's see, it looks like your line has been unmuted.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, could you just state your name and then you can make your statement?
Yes. My name is Lois Simmons, and I'm just very briefly, I am a senior citizen. and I'm on a fixed income. The way that the electricity bill has been going up, it's unbelievable. It's close to $90 and going forward. And at some point, the question is, as many of my constituents, how are we going to maintain ourselves? How are we going to eat? And that's just my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to open it up. If there's anyone who has not registered and wants to make a comment this evening, if you are participating electronically, you can indicate that you want to make a comment by hitting the raise hand icon on the computer that in front of you. If you are participating by telephone and you want to make a comment this evening, you can hit *3 and we'll be able to identify you and unmute your line. It looks like we just do colon user 3.
Hello.
Hello, is this call? Can you state your name and you can give your statement?
Great. Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Yuan, Y-U-A-N, Zhao, Z like a zebra, H-A-O. I'm a first-time homeowner, and actually at the rightful age of 43. And a lot of my clients, I'm also a realtor, are also around that age group. So you're seeing home ownership becoming later and later on in life for a lot of the people who you know, grown up here in the city, you know, chose to stay here or struggled to stay here after going to college and getting work, and then finally working towards home ownership. And most of them are just able to eke by taking out loans from their parents and so on and so forth. So I would say 8 out of 10 people that I went to college with, they all left because it's just been so exorbitant and so unaffordable in New York City. And I'm really worried about the talent pool and all the tax money that's going towards educating these people for the past, like 30 years, right, or more. So what I'm saying is all that tax revenue that's going to fostering these people who are native to New York City, it's really going to waste. And I really feel like it's almost like the ship is sinking and you're just trying to like stay afloat and just trying to take a teacup and take the water out and throwing it overboard, right? So what I'm saying is I think policies need to be re-examined, especially when it comes to the cost of living for the younger generation who are trying to stay in New York City and make it really better, right? So if this place is just going to be an extension of Manhattan and just everyone who lives there are millionaires, then where do we fit in? You know, throughout the years where our parents came here and they pay their taxes, and all the good people here in New York City pay their taxes to foster the kids so that they can contribute. But at the end of the day, are they going to be, you know, it's almost like socioeconomic restructuring. Will they be able to stay where they grew up? And will they be able to contribute and give back and take care of their community, take care of their parents, who all these years generationally have paid their taxes towards making the city the way it is? So that being said, I mean, I understand inflation is in place and there should be a balance between business and standard of living for your average person, but there needs to be some sort of balance, and I really think that it needs to be examined. The percentage rate hike is just too much, and a lot of buildings going electric. I'm not exactly sure why certain people still pay for, say, gas delivery charges and so forth. So once again, there's a lot of transparency issues and oversight issues, I believe. So that's what my comment is for now. I feel like we need a helping hand before we really make any, let's just say, permanent changes and hikes. Am I running out of time, or is this good?
We don't have a set limit. If you have further comments, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine as well.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm also a business person, right? So I have a lot of mentors who are much older than me, and they all told me, okay, it's great that you're going on the record, you're going for this hearing, and these people all told me, you know, I did that too in the past, and nothing could have been done. But you know what? I'm giving New York City one more shot, and, you know, as a younger person who is still waiting to see if she can survive in New York City and maybe have a family, you know, I'm just trying to see if I should pitch in, you know? So I'm just doing this out of my own level of consciousness, and I hope it's not what they tell me. That's all. As a younger person to older generations, I really, really encourage policymakers to view the ramifications of their policy and decisions and their relationship with for-profit entities. And are they really benefiting your constituencies, the ones who have voted for you? And understand that, you know, people are here not just one generation, but multi-generationally, and everybody has pitched in. And it's the future, the younger people who are just depending on all of you. That's all. And hopefully there could be some kind of balance, you know, where everybody can still win. So that's my end of comment, and I hope today I will be able to make a difference. But like everyone here on the phone call, you know, we're just all waiting with a bated breath to see if we can actually, this generation, millennials, Zers, are able to just survive these last 2 decades. And thank you very much.
Thank you. May I ask you to hit *3 again, just to so that you can raise lower the hand function so that we can identify the next speaker. Thank you. Pamela Freeman.
Yes.
Hi. It looks like you'd like to make a statement, and you feel free to do so.
Yes, I would. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I've been receiving these outrageous Con Edison bills since probably mid-2020. As soon as the smart meter is installed, somehow the delivery rates increased. Now, my question in my head was, why is everything happening in the middle of COVID? For me, it feels like price gouging. Oh, they're home, they're going to be using more electricity, they're going to be using more gas. Let's just up the ante, okay? That's not supposed to be allowed any place, any reason. Now, given what I see on my bills, I just don't understand or how it could be allowed that regardless of what your supply charge is, and we keep hearing that Con Edison has no dealings with how much the supply is, but the problem is really not the supply, but their delivery charges. Because if I use $300 worth of gas, but I come up with an $800 bill, is because they added an extra $500 onto it. Now, how anybody thinks that is acceptable, and now they want to increase those charges? I mean, our financial situation in this country is bad enough. But we're not here to line Con Edison's pockets. And with all due respect, the Public Service Commission is here to serve the public, last I heard. Nobody charges twice the amount to deliver something than the actual product costs. If I buy a TV for $2,000, I'm certainly not going to pay $4,000 to $6,000 to have it delivered. I mean, And no one is giving a real answer. We keep hearing about the grid well, what were they doing with the money prior to this? Were they maintaining the grid? I mean, we had enough issues with gas lines and explosions over the last few years. Somebody needs to answer some questions. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to come forth and speak my mind, but I have questions and I think they need to be answered by Con Edison, by the PSC, and if you need to call the AG and the governor, by all means. But lady was retired, I'm on disability, and I'm sitting in one room in my house with a space heater so I don't have to turn on my gas because it's cheaper to use the electricity than for me to use the gas. And how anybody thinks that's acceptable is beyond me. I mean, as a country, we need to spend more time taking care of our citizens than everybody else in the world. Everybody take care of home first, and then we can help other people. But if we're sitting in the midst of despair and tragedy, well, who can we help? Is there any opportunity for us to talk to Con Edison or have questions answered? Will there ever be that opportunity? Apparently not.
I just want to let you know, you can always contact Con Edison with your questions. You can always contact the Department of Public Service Consumer Services Office with questions.
Yes, but the questions I'm asking can't be answered by a customer service representative.
Okay, what you may want to contact, I'm talking about consumer services from the Department of Public Service. They might be able to help you or guide you in a way to get answers to your questions.
Okay, but again, I want to not talk about the price of the supply and talk about the delivery charges and why do the delivery charges change every time the supply prices change? Are they delivering a different amount of gas? Because I don't think so. Or electricity? Because I don't think so. My point is that it needs to be investigated. Somebody needs to look at all of the issues, not just, oh, well, we're trying to upgrade and do X, Y, Z. No, it's not just that. And all we're getting is bills. I actually went down on my usage, my supply in gas, and still got the same bill 2 months later. So how does that work? They don't seem to know. That's the question.
Okay, are you done with your comment, or do you have more comment to make?
No, I'm not going to make any more comments because what I really want are answers.
I can't answer your questions, but like I said, those two, you feel free to contact the Department of Public Services Consumer.
Maybe we can do a forum just like this with the CEOs and so forth. They can tell us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to I'll open it up one more time. If there's anyone else that would like to make a comment and you're participating by telephone, hit *3. If you're participating electronically, you can use the raise hand function. I do not see anybody else indicating that they'd like to make a comment. So with that, I'd just like to remind everyone that you can also submit public comments throughout these proceedings by the other means that I discussed earlier and that are described in the notice of public statement hearings that were issued, that was issued on March 8th. And although comments are requested to be filed by April 14th, 2023, they'll be accepted as long as these cases are pending. We'll be holding additional public statement hearings tomorrow at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I'd like to thank you, and Judge Moreno would like to thank you for your participation this evening. We'd also like to thank Chair Christian and Commissioner Majori for being present. We'd like to thank Sangeetha Kalis and Esmond Brown Anderson from our Consumer Services Office for administering the session, and we'd like to thank our court reporter as well. With that, the hearing is concluded, and we're going to go off the record.
We are off the record, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening, everyone.